These are the Milwaukee 6-in-1 pliers. So they're a side cutter. The actual angle on the end there is set to 15 degrees. There's a good reason for that, which I'll show you later. So they can be used as side cutters. They've also been machined on the edges there, so you can use them for deburring internal pipes. And they've also got holes there which you can use for shearing small bolts. The only problem is these are actually in the UK, and it looks like these are made with American thread sizes in the actual holes there. I have tried an M4. An M4 will go in one side, but I've tried an M3 and an M3.5, and the other side it won't go in. So it does look like these are made for the American market, so do be aware that if you do get a set, you get the correct set. Obviously these are not much good if you're in the UK, because you would need them to cut metric bolts rather than imperial sized bolts. We're just going to put a pair of safety glasses on before we continue. As I mentioned earlier, the actual bit that does the cutting is angled at 15 degrees. That enables you to use these pliers to remove nails, which I'll now demonstrate. So that is a very useful feature of the pliers. The actual cutting edges on these pliers are laser hardened, and that means that you can cut tough things with them like nails. So we're going to cut this nail off. Just see how good these actually are. It does take quite a bit of force to cut through a nail with a small pair of pliers, but it cut through there quite easily. And if you just inspect the blades in there, you can see that there is no damage at all to the blades. Obviously these are good for cutting wire, because that is their main purpose. So I'll just cut through this piece of cable. You can see that it cut through that very quickly. Absolutely no problem at all cutting through cable. The two holes there are designed to cut bolts. So you actually thread a bolt into the correct sized hole. Until you get it in the correct position, and then you squeeze the handles together and that will shear off the bolt. The beauty of doing this is that when you remove the bolt, it actually repairs the thread on the end. So if you look at that, you can see that that would actually thread straight into a nut, no problem at all. Another thing that can be used for is removing the burrs on the inside of pipes. Obviously this is only going to work on certain sizes of pipe. So you can see we've got a nasty burr on the inside of that one. If we just push them in there, give it a turn. And you can see that it has removed the burrs from the inside of the pipe. One thing I should point out about these is that the handles are not insulated, so you should never use these to cut through a live wire. So obviously that's a very useful tool to have in your toolbox, because it can do quite a few things. You can't actually cut through a nail like that using a normal pair of side cutters. You'll probably ruin the edges on them. So it's not a good idea to try and remove a nail or cut a nail using regular side cutters. These have specially hardened teeth which are designed for cutting through tougher materials. So these are very useful, and I'm sure these will come in very handy in the toolbox. And another good thing about these is I didn't actually have to pay for them, because I got them for Christmas.